Hey there, lovely listeners. Welcome back to another exciting episode of My Therapy Room. I'm your host, Cindy Ettienne-Murphy, and today we have a fascinating topic to explore. Is there a relationship between social bullying and narcissism? So grab your favourite beverage, get cosy, and let's dive right in. Now, before we delve into the correlation between social bullying and narcissism, let's first understand what narcissism is. Narcissism is a personality trait characterized by an excessive sense of self-importance, a craving for admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. It's important to note that not everyone who displays narcissistic traits is a full-blown narcissist, but these traits can manifest in varying degrees. When it comes to narcissism, it's also important to note that the traits and behaviors associated with it can manifest in both men and women. However, research suggests that there may be some differences in the way narcissism presents itself in different genders. Studies have shown that men tend to display more overt or grandiose narcissism, characterized by a sense of entitlement, a desire for power and dominance, and a need for admiration. They may engage in attention-seeking behaviors, boast about their accomplishments, and exhibit high levels of self-confidence. On the other hand, women may exhibit more covert or vulnerable narcissism, which is characterized by a fragile self-esteem, a fear of rejection, and a tendency to feel victimized. They may seek validation and attention in more subtle ways, such as playing the victim or using manipulation tactics to maintain control over others. Research suggests that societal norms and gender expectations can influence the expression of narcissistic traits. Men are often encouraged to be assertive and dominant, which aligns with grandiose narcissism, whereas women, on the other hand, may face societal pressure to be nurturing and empathetic, leading to the development of covert narcissistic tendencies. It's important to remember that these are general observations, and not all men or women fit these patterns. Believe it or not, narcissism exists on a spectrum, and individuals can display varying degrees of narcissistic traits, regardless of their gender. So, understanding the different presentations of narcissism can help us recognize and address these behaviors more effectively. Whether it's in the workplace, relationships, or social settings, being aware of these dynamics can empower us to set boundaries, maintain healthy relationships, and promote empathy and understanding, which is so important in this day and age, right? Another question that I've been asked is there a correlation between narcissism and social bullying? Well, research and studies have indeed shown a connection between the two. When someone with narcissistic traits feels threatened or perceives a challenge to their superiority, they may resort to social bullying as a means to maintain control and power over others. Sad, right? Studies have explained that individuals with narcissistic tendencies often have a distorted view of themselves and others. They may believe they are superior and entitled to special treatment, leading them to belittle and demean those they perceive as inferior. This can manifest in various forms of social bullying, such as spreading rumours. This behaviour in particular can be extremely damaging, along with publicly shaming or humiliating others. We can forgive and/or excuse children for these types of behaviours as they don't always know the impact of their actions and the potential damage that these behaviours could cause. However, when an adult engages in these behaviours, alarm bells should be ringing, right? As they are clearly not thinking about the possible impact that this could have on the victim's family, and indeed their own family, if they are identified. And depending on the severity of the behaviours, external agencies may need to be involved. There is so much to unpack here. I think that's another area that I may need to delve into. I hope that has given you some understanding around the correlation between narcissism and social bullying. Join us next time for another intriguing discussion, and thanks so much for tuning into this episode of My Therapy Room. Before we wrap things up, I want to invite you to get involved in helping us to shape where we take things next. Do you have questions or comments on ways our research could be expanded, or ideas for topics you'd like us to explore in a future episode? We'd love to hear from you. Send us a voice memo with your thoughts. Get as controversial or introspective as you want. We promise not to judge. The more controversial the better, and names will always be removed. You can also reach us the traditional way by email or social media, And if your mind is still buzzing with intrigue, feel free to continue the conversation with friends. We'll be selecting some of your submissions for the next podcast. Who knows, your question could help guide us to produce our most cerebral content yet. So don't be shy and get those messages headed our way. Thanks as always for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on My Therapy Room. Until then, take care and be kind to one another.